I want to make sure that we have enough time for all of our restaurateurs to be able to speak to what they have going on. I specifically wanted to kind of bring our restaurateurs on because it's almost been like they've been opening a new business every couple months over the last couple of months. They had a business, and then they're like, oh, I have a new business, and this is the way we operate, right? And then now we're in phase 1, and they're like, oh, let's open a new restaurant with a whole new way of operating. So they've had to pivot a lot to keep doors open and keep serving the community. So I wanted to give them a chance to kind of talk about what phase 1 looks like for them, each of them individually, because it's not as easy as one size fits all in terms of a solution for restaurateurs. And then when we get to the end of the meeting, we'll go through and do introductions from the group or community announcements from each of you that are on the line with us today. So just kind of going at in kind of order of who's appearing on my screen here. Mike Ebner, you're my first food service restaurateur. You want to let us know what's going on at Ebner's, what you're doing with seating, etc.?
It's pretty much the same as everybody. And on the restaurant part of it, I'm probably the small guy in the group, but I think we lost 3 tables, which was not that big of a deal, and just 6 feet apart, in and out. It's been kind of, we haven't really didn't really have to go through that closing thing per se, but we've been open pretty much the whole time. Just obviously people can't eat back there, but I think we ended up with like 24 seats after it was all said and done. So that's kind of where we're at. We're ready to go.
Yeah,
I think 5 or 6 people sat down yesterday, and it was kind of a welcoming sight to see someone sitting in your restaurant again. So it was kind of cool.
Kind of warms up the space to have people in the seats, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, it does for sure. Yeah.
Are you going to continue your outdoor smoker program and the brisket and all the things you're doing?
If we can find the meat to cook, and if we can afford to try to buy it, it's been pretty crazy. So
yeah,
meat prices as of yesterday about fell out of my chair. It finally hit. It's bad. It's really, really bad. So all the restaurant folks out there, I got hit hard yesterday, so it's probably coming down the line to you. Wow. As far as like burger wise and stuff, it's pretty bad. I'm selling steaks now today for $16 a pound, and I was selling them for $8 last week. So everything about doubled across the board for me.
Well, now I'm super happy that I bought that cow from you when I did.
Yeah. You picked the right time to buy the cow. I guarantee you that.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, good to know. So as much as you can in terms of the outdoor smoker and kind of your to-go aspect out of there, but the deli's open.
Yeah, the deli's open, and I mean, we've got both the smokers, and obviously, I think I have one event this summer that I haven't heard from yet, but everything else is canceled. So we're just gonna throw smoke on the streets downtown and get people to come down and get it from us, I guess, since we can't go anywhere else to give it to them. So it'll be fun. Keep us close to town. It'll be not so fun because you don't get to see all the people we've been, doing events with all summer long for 4 or 5 years, I guess now. So you're gonna miss seeing those people, but look excited to bring people into Canby.
Yeah, good. Awesome. Thank you so much.
You bet.
Matt, you're next in my logical sequence of folks here.
How's it going?
Good. And just in case anybody doesn't know, make sure to say who you are and who you're with.
I'm Matt Morrissey, Wayward Sandwiches. We are about to see that meat crisis hit us. Most of our purveyors are relatively local, and so it's hitting us. Our meat prices have been kind of high anyway compared to what you could get out there. But you know, and the nice thing about it is that a lot of the smaller butcher houses haven't been affected by all of the outbreaks at these facilities, but it's trickling down. They're getting busier. They're you know, all of the smaller houses are now reaching sort of critical mass because everyone's taking their animals where they can to get them butchered, and so we're just by, you know, the demand that's raising on them, we're starting to see our prices go up from the, you know, the little guys too. So that's definitely, prices are going to be, hopefully it's not a long-term problem, but
Right.
it's definitely going to be a problem that it's going to filter down to the customers. I mean, it has to. It's crazy. I don't know what Mike, I don't know what you're seeing, but some of the you know, we saw chuck roll over $9 a pound, and it's like, you know, that may not mean anything to anyone necessarily, but it's that's an insane price.
Yeah. So Matt, you were probably our first restaurant to open. How was it opening day, and what did that
Yeah, so
for you?
we you know, we really, as soon as they put out the guidance, we were sort of, you know, we're not a full service restaurant. We kind of are, but we aren't at the same time. It's, you know, you come in, you order counter service. So for us, it's been, I think, a little easier to transition through a lot of this stuff. I don't have a bar to worry about, and so we've just tried to be as flexible as possible. And so when we opened on Saturday, we were kind of going through the checklist of everything. And the biggest differences for us have been really just trying to educate people as quickly as possible about behaviors that they're used to being able to come in, right? So you went from having normal life to no dine in and just stuffing food in boxes and takeout. So now people are coming back, but they have no experience or point of reference for the fact that, you know, you can't move tables anymore, and you can't just go and self-serve whatever you used to self-serve anymore. So we've kind of had to hide the napkins and the plates and the to-go boxes that we normally would have just had out for people to grab, or our water station, so that people aren't grabbing those things, because you know. And the other piece to it is that we're supposed to keep our distance from people, and so we really told our staff not to bus tables anymore, you know, while people are still sitting there. And so it's just against every instinct you have, having worked in the hospitality industry for 25 years, to do that. You know, you want to go up and clear the space and make sure people are having a good experience, but you know, trying to follow the guidance as much as possible is tricky.
Do you find that customers are receptive to
Yeah,
the
we've been
guidance and the
really,
training and the...
we've been, I mean, I had Canby Sign and Graphics make up a big sign for us, and we just posted it up yesterday. But in general, people have been great. You know, because most people that we're experiencing anyway are, you know, hey, what is and isn't okay, and nobody's really gotten frustrated at us. People have been really patient, and it's been really, we haven't had any issues at all so far. And you know, we also have that big outdoor space, and we added all those picnic tables. So for us, we haven't really gotten to a place where we've run out of tables yet. So I don't know what it's going to look like for folks that are going to, you know, or when we do hit that place where we have people waiting, and maybe people will be less patient, but so far so good for sure.
Right. Yeah, I mean, at this initial go round, we're only seeing a percentage of folks who are ready to leave the house. Right. I think I was talking to Joan about this. There's kind of like a third of people that are not coming out. They're just not. There's like a third of people that'll come out with restrictions, and then there's a third of people that were ready to come out with no restrictions 3 weeks ago. right? And they were coming no matter what, you know.
We we were really surprised actually this weekend, and how much we were still doing, not as much takeout, but almost as much takeout as we've been doing, with the addition of all the people coming out. So I mean, we thought that we would see a much larger drop in the amount of takeout, with people coming out, but it hasn't been the case. We're still shoving a bunch of food in boxes for sure.
Right. Anything else that you want to make sure folks know? Specials, things you got going on?
No, we're doing all the stuff that we have been doing, you know, to try and between the different takeout and, you know, really pushing social media, because I mean there's a lot of people, they're just sitting there at home scrolling through their feeds, so we try and make sure we hit that at least once a day, just to make sure that you're kind of top of mind. But other than that, you know, we're just trying to stay true to what we're doing, and you know, we hired up just to try and soften the buffer what was coming our way, because it's just such an unknown. You don't, I mean, we're only 4 or 5 days into this. I don't know what a week from now is going to look like, if it's going to be busier or slower or what. It's just really hard to anticipate what's going to happen.
Right. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you very much for that. Let's move over to Rocky. Rocky from Route 99 Roadhouse. And so you're not open yet, but you're looking in the next day or two? Is that right?
So we decided, we were going to open today, but it's almost 90 degrees and we took the boat out once last year, so we're trying to not repeat last year. So we're going to open tomorrow, and after working until about 4 today, we're going to go celebrate with a couple people that have been helping us and go have some fun and be crazy. And then tomorrow we're preparing to open. So we're going to start opening Fridays at noon. So that'll be obviously tomorrow, and then Saturdays as well. We're going to be closed Sundays and Mondays, and that's going to go for quite some time. That's not just a temporary thing. Ultimately, the quarantine's been fabulous for family life and kind of rebalancing, being in our first year, and I'm a bunny. I just go, and just that balance and whatnot, you know, learning curve. So it was great to slow down. So we're going to try to kind of pace ourselves a little bit differently. Tyson is no longer really part of Route 99. He accepted a job back into the construction industry, which is his niche. And so it's primarily going to be my show. I brought in a full-time manager to help me with stuff. And so we are kind of really focusing on right now, defining what we are and sticking to what we are, instead of bouncing around with all these different ideas and entities and whatnot. And I'm more or less, obviously, the reason we weren't open during the quarantine time frame is you can go get mozzarella sticks anywhere. So we're not the best restaurant ever, and we don't plan on getting to that point anytime soon. We want to focus more on the fun and the events and the live music and that type of stuff. That I feel like that venue, as far as I've ever been in the community, which is almost 12 years, has just always been more of a party place, not as much of a, oh, I'm going on a date, let me put on a darling outfit and go get some dinner. We would like to get there, but primarily we're just kind of focusing on what we're getting into so far. So we're actually reducing the menu a little bit. And like I said, we just want to master little things at a time. So if we can master a smaller menu, then we can kind of start to go from there. But we are going to be doing a daily dinner special. That's more like the home cooked type stuff, you know, whether it be a meatloaf or pork chops or whatever it is. And that a big part of that menu reduction is because of the pricing and all of the issues that we're going to have in getting, you know, all meat in general. We have a lot of friends in Eastern Oregon, and I just keep hearing about, you know, the piles of hogs that are laying around and they can't go to butcher, which is just going to like slow production down because of the factories being closed and whatnot. And so that's something that we're really blessed with, that we can, our menu is so fluid. So outside of, you know, burgers and bar food and some wraps and some prime rib on Fridays, that's our only parameter. So other than that, we can kind of just utilize what we can actually get that's still cost effective. And so that's something I feel really, really blessed about. What else? We're going to be at weekdays, you know, the regular 4 to 10 o'clock last night. My hands are shot. I never want to move a pool table again in my life. We
They're
shifted
terrible.
everything.
Pool tables are terrible.
There were 6 of us, and every single time it was just like,
Right.
But quite honestly, I've like, pool tables are great. Bar people love them. We have beautiful pool tables, but pool's not my thing, and I just see them as wasted seats. And so currently we have all the pool tables shoved down that family side, and I'm absolutely thrilled. We were able to use every single chair and every single table, so we are not wasting anything. So we literally can fit, like, my biggest goal in this is I just want it to feel normal as possible. And I think when people come in, you know, the people that are willing to come out right now, they're going to appreciate that. Because if you're willing to go out, you're starting to, you know, obviously get back into the groove of things. And if you go out and, you know, it's like a scene from E.T. to go get a drink with a friend, that's not very comforting. And so luckily with our huge space, we were able to utilize literally every nook and cranny of all the awkward little spaces in that building and kind of create an atmosphere that feels relatively pretty normal. And so I'm really excited. We're looking into bringing live music in, because we do have that huge stage area, which absolutely, you know, meets every rule and regulation that's coming out. And so we're just going to kind of ease back into things. And yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, more things are changing as we go daily, but ultimately we're just kind of baby stepping. So getting people in there, selling, you know, the little bits that we have, and kind of starting to get things moving again, I think is kind of all we can really do at this point.
You know,
So, but we're excited.
Yeah, I really appreciate the whole concept of like getting back to basics and knowing what you do and getting back to that and doing it well, as opposed to kind of scattershot. You know, good ideas are shiny little temptations, but that doesn't mean that they're always great to execute and great to follow. And so kind of like coming back down to like, what is our identity and what is it that we do well, and focusing there. That's solid strategy for moving forward. Yeah. Anything else?
Yeah, it's been not really, no. We're going to be posting a menu on our Facebook page pretty soon, kind of updating the changes to go full swing. Everybody's like, oh man, we're going to come in and support you, and Friday and Saturday we're going to be, and I'm like, due to go, we're going to be so, like, it's going to be so overwhelming with people, like, and so to go orders are just as beneficial as you coming in and whatnot. And so I'm just kind of trying to spread the word for that. We're still going to be doing our primer special and whatnot. And so, I mean, yep, just getting back to what we do and trying to do it in the best way we possibly can, and, you know, enjoyed a little vacation. And luckily it wasn't long enough. It extended us financially too horribly much, so we're able to get back into it, happy hearts and good smiles, and get everybody working again and get back to normal. So
Yeah. Awesome.
yeah.
Thanks so much, Rocky. Appreciate it. All right, Ken, you're my next guy here in the grid work.
Oh, morning. So we've been open up 2 days now to in dining seating. We're finding that we're about 50% to go, 50% people coming in. So, which has been great that our to go has not dropped off considerably like I thought it might. But inside dining, we've yet to fill up completely yet. The outdoor tables have been a hit for sure. Those are filling up all the time. We lost 15 tables in and the whole bar top itself. We only got 5 tables in the bar. So the bar is filled up, but the dining out front hasn't. We set the upstairs ballroom up with 8 tables. So that gives us an ability to extend our dining room, but have not had to use it yet.
Gotcha.
But it seems to be going really well. I'm glad, you know, that we were able to start on a Tuesday versus like a Friday for us, so we can kind of ease ourselves into it. You know, right. Just trying to we've got everybody back to work. out of the whole scheme of things, we only lost one cook out of everything. So I'm pretty happy that, I mean, after being down for 10 weeks, only to lose one person, was pretty happy. And they moved to Idaho. So it wasn't like they went and found another job. They just decided to get out of Oregon. So,
Yeah.
but
how has morale been, and how have customers kind of been taking the changes and whatnot?
yes. Yeah. People coming in seem pretty happy with being able to get back out again. My employees are ecstatic to be back to work. I was actually a little nervous about that, you know, with the way the unemployment worked, but everybody seems super happy. I think we all miss being able to just be with each other, you know, through this time, because we've all been kind of separated. So it's been really neat to see everybody, and everybody's super excited about being back to work, even though it is a little more difficult, but they're all taking those changes in stride, and they're just happy to be back and to see the people.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, that's good. Only losing one employee, and that to a residential move, is that's a success story. I know a lot of people were, no matter the industry, were worried about workforce once you started bringing people back, whether they would be afraid to return to work, whether they, you know, would find another opportunity and then not want to like switch gears back again. You know, a lot of that was uncertain. We didn't know.
yeah.
So, yeah. Well, we'll see what this weekend brings. I would imagine you might need to expand up into that ballroom space come Friday and Saturday traffic, as people.
Yeah. I say the one thing that, and we haven't got to see it yet, and so that's why I'm kind of excited and nervous too, to see when we do get to that point. Like Matt was saying, we haven't ran out of tables yet, but when we do get to that point, because people can't stand in the bar waiting for tables like they used to. They can't stand in the front like they used to waiting for tables. So, you know, at this point, I think what we're going to do is just take a phone number and, you know, maybe they walk over to the park, you know, or walk around the block, or sit out in their car, or just kind of hang out outside until their table's ready. And then we'll text them and let them know that, hey, your table's ready. Come on in, you know.
Go buy some pepperoni over at Ebner's while you wait.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. No, that process, that log jam at the entryway, I think for many folks, like for Matt, for the line, because they kind of do counter service, for you and Joan, you know, who do table seating. And so they got to kind of wait in the foyer to be fancy about it. But, you know, like that whole process and what that looks like. Rocky's kind of got a big enough space that I would think people would be able to kind of disperse and be wide enough. But you guys have a pinch point right there at the front door at both your establishments that it'll be interesting to see how people react. And then proximity and mask versus no mask people, and right, like anytime we're going to start rubbing people of different perspectives up against each other as people re-enter common spaces, it's going to be interesting to see how those things work.
Yeah, I mean, I know there's a lot of new things that we have to do, but we are just excited that we are starting to move forward.
Yeah.
Because after 10 weeks of just kind of stagnant, it's
Right.
just nice to be able to even though it's difficult and it may not make sense trying to make money this way, but we are at least moving forward. And so it's better than not moving at all.
Yeah. Awesome. Anything else you want to add?
And all good. Just glad to be back.
Yeah. Welcome back. Appreciate it, Ken. All right, Joner.
Hey,
You're up next.
Okay, I'm Joan Monin. I own the Wild Hair in Canby in Oregon City. And yeah, I just, same as everyone else. I mean, I was really, really shocked with to-go orders on Tuesday. I was like, we're open. You can come in. And people are like, no, we're going to come and get our food to go. And I was like, all right, whatever. Yesterday, we filled up. So how I have the Canby location laid out is every table that I've lost inside, I just bumped out in my patio. So I counted that I've only lost 8 seats through the entire process. You know, all of them at the bar. People are like, well, how come we can't just space the seating out at the bar. Well, the reason why you can't space the seating out at the bar is because people will congregate still. If you put a chair there, then someone's going to come over and stand next to the chair. And as much as you try to do the right thing and go 6 feet here, 6 feet there, the second you anchor a chair at the bar, then this buddy over here is going to come stand next to him, and this buddy's going to come stand next to him. So you literally cannot have any bar top. So we've lost those, but we've added, like I said, seating outside. We haven't had a line yet, but we have lots of benches set up out front so that people can sit. And I think same thing, like Ken said, we're just gonna have to take your phone number down and you have to go sit in your car or go walk in the field or, you know, go do something while you wait for a table. You know, it was awesome. I mean, we were busy last night. A lot more steps involved, a lot more processes involved. New job descriptions for people. You know, my staff has to be flexible with, you know, you're not just a hostess anymore. You're now a hostess disinfector. You're now cleaning the bathrooms every 30 minutes. You're, you know, having to go do all those things. Yes, I'm getting anxious about food prices. You know, I might have to revamp my menu in order to accommodate some of these changes for the short term. Oregon City is the same thing. We had the Pioneer Room that we held all of our events in. So every table that we lost in the dining room, we shut down. We just popped back up over in the Pioneer Room. So all the bar top that we lost in OC, we got outside seating approval by OLCC to serve outside. So again, I haven't lost any much seating really at all. It's just a much bigger footprint now.
Right.
So you got to have eyes everywhere, and you know, you got to make sure that the people that are sitting on the back patio aren't up to shenanigans, and you know, but we have cameras for stuff like that. So closing the 10 o'clock thing is a little bit strange. I don't think people have quite got used to that yet. They haven't realized it's like, oh my gosh, I was just trying to have fun, and really, you're kicking me out. So they think that this whole like, oh, what is the virus gonna double in size after 10 o'clock? It's like, no, you start getting loose and people start getting more relaxed, and next thing you know, well, you know, people are hanging out and hugging, and you're supposed to be keeping your distance if you didn't come with the group that you came with. So
Right.
yeah, so that's why we have to close at 10. So you're just tweaking a few things, and it's all good. We're excited. I mean, my staff I have a couple gals that are apprehensive, which is fine. I told them, just take your time. I mean, it's up to you guys. It's your comfort level. It's not, don't feel rushed. Don't feel that you have to leave the comfort of your home because you have an elderly person you're caring for, you have little ones you're caring for. If you're the main caregiver for your house, don't leave. Take the time. Take however much time you need. Your job is secure. You're going to be here. It's going to be here when you come back. We'll accommodate you. But for the most part, just the wearing the mask thing, I think is, you know, because you can't see people's smiles. I mean, you know, we're such a smiley, huggy group that even the employees have to practice the social distancing, and you want to hug each other back behind the bar and stand there and, you know, and now you got to do the elbows and the fist bumps, and it's retraining your brain, and it's retraining your staff and your customers. You know, some customers like, I want to hug you, and I'm like, you can fist bump me or you can elbow me, but you know, I'm seeing lots of people throughout the day, so I can't be hugging everybody. And that's hard for me because I am a huggy type feely person. So, but like I said, it's retraining your brain and learning new processes, new steps, new executions. We had to kind of learn on the fly with like the whole to-go thing because it was still so busy, you know, and like, okay, not everybody can be taking to-go orders. We need to just keep it to the bartender so that there's one person that's funneling that line of distribution, because, you know, Susie Q over here is answering the phone and she's forgetting to ring it in, or she's not ringing it in correctly, or the food order that went out to Jimmy that came through that Susie Q, you know, it's just, there needs to be one person taking the food orders and executing that and making sure that that whole thing is still happening, because it's not slowing down. The people that are staying home want to stay home and they still want to eat out, but they want to take it home. So yeah, I think that was the biggest thing for us. But yeah, everyone's I mean, everyone's excited. The people that are coming out are excited. And I think the people that are coming in to get the to-go food, they're feeling like, oh, everyone's wearing masks. Look at how well the tables are spaced out. And look at how much outside seating there is. I mean, I have 12 tables outside. So that's a huge benefit. I have 12 at Canby and I have 5 at OC. So like I said, every bar top that I lost inside at OC, I just pumped out.
Right.
Yeah, which was good. Awesome.
And that's why I appreciate kind of all of you guys. It's like in all of this talk and how everybody's kind of finessing this situation for their own business. I mean, it really is like opening
Brand new.
kind of a brand new business.
I felt like I was opening 2 new restaurants on Tuesday. Yeah.
Right, because processes are the same, or processes are different each time we go through a different phase, and you have to kind of figure out who that person is, who's the point person, what are we doing.
Yeah, but then I'm also excited because we did a lot of changes within the restaurants. I mean, we remodeled both our bathrooms at Canby. We added a bunch of decorations at OC. So that showing the customer that like we did all these changes for you guys. We took the time to upgrade a lot of things and keep current. And so that was fun to be able to do those projects and then show them off. You know, that's always like, hey, look at what we did. This is awesome. So you just try and move the ball a little bit each day and stay positive and reassess at the end of it and what can we do better tomorrow. But, you know, I think at the end of the day, you just want to create a great experience for your guests. And if you can continue to do that with what you're doing, they'll keep coming back. And hopefully, you know, I mean, summertime is insanely busy for me at Canby because of the event center. I get so much business from the event center. It's going to be interesting to see how that changes my busy season without things happening at the fairgrounds. I mean, you had a dog and pony show there. I had a line out the door. You had a tax sale. I had a line out the door. You had a garden sale. I had a wait list for, you know, an hour of people waiting to come in. So that part is just going to be interesting to see if the community can rally and replace those bodies that were coming in.